And welcome to our midweek show of Upon Further Review. I'm Josh Aubrey. Plenty of previews to get to. You've got Statesboro High getting ready to take on South Effingham, a big matchup for them, a win, and they should be in the state playoffs. Southeast Bulloch looking to rebound from their loss this past week to Benedictine as they get back to action. You also have the Bulloch Academy Gators hosting Bethlehem Christian, Portal in action as well. And then on the college front, a big game, midweek game this week, Thursday evening at Paulson Stadium, Georgia Southern taking on Appalachian State. It's always a big game. This time the Mountaineers come in as the number 25 ranked team in the nation. We'll hear from head coach Chad Lunsford and some of the players in just a moment. Before we go to break, we'd like to hope you'll all be safe out there, but if you happen to be in an injury or have an accident, we'd like to encourage you to contact the Sullivan Law Firm at thesullivanlawfirm.com or give them a call, 912-489-8888.
The Medical Center Pharmacy on Grenade Street is proud to be your Health Mart pharmacy in Statesboro. The Medical Center Pharmacy, locally owned and serving this community for 50 years, is open 364 days a year. The pharmacists at Medical Center know there's nothing more important than your family's well-being. That's why they take the time to know their customers, explain their medications, and answer any questions. The Medical Center Pharmacy, your Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
No credit refused isn't just an offer, it's a way of business and has been for over 100 years. No banks, no ridiculous credit requirements, just local Badcock store owners who treat you right and give you credit when others won't. It's never been easier to express your style and love your home.
The Statesboro High School Coaches Show is brought to you by Synovus. And join me now, the head coach of the Statesboro Blue Devils, Jeff Kaiser. And Coach, you guys have had an extra week. You had fall break this past week. I know that could be a distraction. You got the fair in town, and you've got a game on Friday night. Thankfully, you didn't. You got a chance to maybe heal up as you guys get ready for the game with South Effingham. How did the off week or the bye week go for you?
It was good. We brought the kids in every morning, practiced in the morning, and they had the rest of the day off. And we think it was we were still able to condition. We just think it was good to get good practices in the morning when it was cool, and gave them the opportunity. A lot of our kids still have jobs, so a lot of them worked the whole time. But it was good to give them a little break. Good to give our coaches a little bit of an afternoon break.
And it comes at a big time for you because you got South Effingham coming up. You were just coming off where you've come off 6 tough losses in a row. Do you feel like maybe this past week was a chance to kind of wipe everything clean and kind of get ready for these last 2 games?
Yeah. It was just an opportunity for us to get better at what we do and get some depth better at what we do. That being said, South's coming in here. This will be their last regular season game. So the same scenario last year. So we know that they'll be ready and they'll be fired up, chomping at the bit. So we got to make sure that our ducks are in a row and we come ready to play.
Last year, you guys got beat pretty handily by them, and it was a similar scenario, like you said. But do you feel like your team's a little bit different now than they were at that time last year?
Yeah, but there is the concern that we've lost 6 in a row. Human nature, especially in teenagers, you start to question yourself and question your belief in yourself. So, we're trying to practice the same way, same intensity. Getting after it and trying to get better. And, it's the most important game of the year, but just because it's the next one, not because it means anything.
Well, a win here would give you guys a state playoff berth. What do you expect out of South Effingham? What kind of game do you expect out of them Friday?
They are very, very multiple on offense. They've been hit and miss offensively from an injury standpoint. They seem like they've had a different player or two missing each week until last week against Ware. Last week against Ware, they moved the ball up and down the field in between the 10-yard lines. They just made mistakes that kept them from scoring. But they are quarterback's an outstanding player. Just a throw it, run it, very smart, makes good decisions. They run pass options off of every scheme they have. So we've got to be disciplined. It's like playing option football. But, we'll have our hands full. They are very good offensively. Defensively, they're bigger than us. We just got to continue getting better at what we do. Control the ball, keep it away from them, not turn it over, and hopefully have a shot to win at the end.
All right, well, stay with us. We'll hear from some Blue Devil players coming up in just a second.
This is a Clydesdale. Despite what you see in the commercials, he doesn't play football. He won't bring me a cold one, as much as I wish he would. He does not fall easily in love with his kitty cat pals, of which he has none. He's just really good at being a horse on this ranch. I run with help from my banker, at Synovus, Bank of here. Really, Bruce?
Well, join me now, J.D. Kaiser and Austin Arendez. I know you guys got a big game coming up. Coming off of fall break, were you guys able to heal up a little bit? You feel like you got a little better this past week?
Yes, sir. It was a good work week. We went to work every day, got the Friday off to heal up, and came back to work today.
Austin, for you guys, I know it's been tough. You've gone through 6 losses. Do you feel like the break came at a good time to kind of get yourself refocused for these last 2 games?
Yes, sir. Get us refocused for these last 2 games, and we just got to win one to get to the playoffs, and just beat South and get ready for them.
Yeah, you guys know what's ahead. If you beat South, you're going to the state playoffs. Does that make it, kind of easy to get up for a game like this?
Well, it makes it much more important. The stakes are higher for this game, so we got to come out and we got to be ready.
Last time around, you guys went to South. They beat you up pretty bad. Do you feel like there's some revenge in this game coming up on Friday?
Maybe a little bit, not much though. We just know we got to stay focused and win this game and get to the state playoffs.
JD, they got a really good quarterback. Their offense is pretty strong. Their record's not great, but this is their last game, and they know if they win, they're going to the state.
Well, we can't underestimate them. We just got to go after them like we have been all year and keep grinding this week and keep preparing and just give it to them on Friday.
All right, Friday night, 7:30, Walnut Field, Statesboro and South Effingham. We'll be back with more in a moment. The Statesboro High Coaches Show has been brought to you by Synovus. Family Internal Medicine Associates of Statesboro, providing primary care for Statesboro area patients since 1998, providing complete physicals, complete sports physicals, Medicare wellness exams, full diabetes treatment, and education from lifestyle changes to oral medications to insulin pump therapy. In-house dermatology, in-house circulation tests and ultrasounds, in-house lab. And introducing our new nurse practitioner, Melissa Beasley, as we now accommodate same-day or next-day appointments to serve your needs. Family Internal Medicine Associates of Statesboro, where we care.
Friday night lights to early morning deer stands, Anderson's General Store in Statesboro is your tailgating and hunting headquarters. Boots from Ariat, Georgia Boot, Irish Setter, Wolverine, and more, we have a pair for you. Check out our Costa and Ray-Ban sunglasses. And apparel from Columbia, Carhartt, and Drake. Dove, ducks, deer, we have all your hunting needs. And tailgate with a Big Green Egg or Traeger grill. Pack in the flavor with delicious sauces and rubs. Haul it all home with a utility trailer. Anderson's General Store, a general store, and so much more.
The Bulloch Academy segment is brought to you by R.J. Pope's Men's and Ladies Apparel and Anderson's General Store. All right, join me now, the head coach of the Bulloch Academy Gators, Pat Collins. And Coach, you guys took care of business. You knew Trinity was a region game. You knew that they had beaten you the last 2 years, and you went down there and scored 50 points on those guys.
I thought that our team outplayed their team in every aspect of the game. I will say that I was disappointed that we gave up the amount of yardage with our pass defense. Credit them. You have to give Trinity a little bit of credit. They executed a few plays that they got some yardage on. But against the first defense, we effectively held them to one score. I was pleased with the effort of our team because I know that Trinity is well coached, and I know that their team is well prepared, and I know they play hard. So we beat a good team. And then we finally get around to our offense. I was elated with the way the offense have played. It starts up front, but you've got to have a quarterback in our offense that's making decisions correctly and operating very, very efficiently with his decision making. And his performance grade was 95% this week. And that's when you're making decisions every play with the football. And Don's doing an excellent job with that. I can't say enough about the two running backs.
Well, this week you've got Bethlehem Christian coming in. Not a lot of people know much about them. They've struggled this year. I know they're from the Atlanta area. And with Frederica looming the week after this for the region championship, I know it's got to be a little bit difficult to keep these kids from looking past this team.
Well, if we could get the TV station not to report who we're going to play in 2 weeks rather than this week, there's a million distractions, Josh.
Homecoming.
You have the events swirling around homecoming. You have what you mentioned with Bethlehem's body of work to this point and their record. But I was, earlier in the day today, I was especially proud of our seniors because they didn't recognize that I was listening, but just at break I was standing in the hall and I overheard our seniors cautioning some teammates that, hey, we got to stay focused, and even though they've got maybe a subpar record, anybody can beat anybody on any given night. So, I was very pleased with their maturity and how they looked at that. And if those seniors are in line, I think our coaches will be in line with that. I think everything else will fall in place. We've got a lot of things that we'll have to deal with this week with all the distractions, with the other game, as you mentioned, that's coming up in our near future, and with Bethlehem this week. And it'll take leadership from our seniors, as I've mentioned, and it'll take leadership from our coaches, and we're obviously prepared to do that.
All right, stay with us. Coming up next, we'll hear from some of the Gator players. We are feeling fall at R.J. Pope's Men's and Ladies Apparel. Stop by R.J. Pope's in the Buckhead Plaza and check out their new expansion with plenty more to offer, featuring brands like Mountain Khakis, Pants by Cool, jackets and shirts as cooler weather is upon us. With the largest selection of Georgia Southern and University of Georgia game day apparel, we make sure you're dressed to win at tailgating. When you're not cheering on your favorite team, we have your style covered, online and in store at our 3 locations. And join me now, Don Aaron, quarterback for the Bulloch Academy Gators, and Olin Anderson, kicker for Bulloch Academy. And guys, you guys are coming off a couple of big wins, both region wins this past week. You go on the road to Trinity. They had a fairly similar record, and you guys really put it on them, scored 50 points.
Yes, sir, it was a big win. I was real happy with it. Offensive line played great, and we had really good perimeter blocking. So.
Well, and you guys go up against Trinity. They had beaten y'all the last 2 years, and last year they beat you fairly good here at BA. Was it nice to go up there and get a win?
Yeah, it was huge, and like Coach Collins said, kind of earned our respect back since 0-2 since the last 2 years. So, yeah, it was nice to go up there and beat them.
All right, well, you guys lost a couple of weeks ago, but that was the only loss you've got. Now you've got Bethlehem Christian, and then you've got Frederica on the horizon. Is it hard to kind of focus on just this game knowing that the big one is coming in 2 weeks?
No, sir, I know. I mean, we've kind of always said, next game is the most important game. So all of our attention right now is on Bethlehem. Same thing for you. Is it hard to not see that big game with the Knights in a couple of weeks?
No, so we try to stay locked in on the next one. Next game's the biggest game.
And Don, as far as the offensive goes, the offensive line has been really giving you guys a lot of big holes. Did again this past week, and it seems like there's always somebody that's going over 100. Last week you guys had 2 guys over 100, including yourself.
Yes, sir. I mean, they've really played good all year. They they really, I mean, they get all kind of push. It's pretty easy, honestly, with them up there.
Do you know much about Bethlehem Christian? I know they come in and their record's not the greatest in the world.
No, sir, but they're really athletic. I mean, they've got a pretty good team, and they throw it around a lot, so it's always dangerous.
All right, Bulloch Academy, Bethlehem Christian, coming up, homecoming for the Gators Friday night here at Gator Alley.
A sports injury can stop you in your tracks. At Optum Orthopedics, our specialized physicians and staff use advanced orthopedic procedures with one specific goal in mind: to get you back to you. If you have a sports injury, request an evaluation. Experience the Optum difference.
Come visit us locally here in Statesboro at Piedmont Loop beside Walmart. It's now time for our Southeast Bulloch segment, brought to you by Martin Turf Farm. All right, join me now. One of the assistant coaches for the Southeast Bulloch Yellow Jackets, Brandon Peterson, and Coach is joining me because Coach Davis is a little under the weather this week. But we want to kind of get into the last week you guys played Benedictine. Obviously, it was a tough loss. I know that was for the region championship, and I know, knowing kids, you got to kind of beware that that doesn't end up being a hangover into this week or the weeks to come.
That's right. Obviously, things didn't work out like we wanted to on Friday, but we can't let Benedictine beat us twice. So the mindset right now is kind of get back to work and turn the page and go get ready for the next one.
What kind of things do you learn after that Benedictine loss? Anything in particular, anything you got to work on or anything in particular?
Well, just across the board, a lot of things really. We had a lot of mental mistakes, penalties, busted assignments, things like that. In a game, always there's going to be some of those things. But when you play a good opponent, those things get magnified. And I think hopefully our kids learned how important that concentration of those things are, especially when you play a quality opponent.
Well, this week you've got Groves, and it'd be easy for some of these kids to overlook this team because they've struggled all season long.
Yeah, we got homecoming this week, so there's some good things that come with that, and there's some challenges that come with that. Hopefully our kids will be smart and do the things we're asking them to do. Hopefully they're thinking after last week that we want to kind of get back on track and have a good showing on Friday.
You feel like in practice they've responded pretty well so far this week?
Yeah, we had a good day yesterday. Kind of over the bumps and bruises a little bit, healed up some, and we had a good day. We just got to keep getting at it every day, and more focus, more attention to some details, and just keep working. Anything
in particular you see when you watch any film on Groves?
They've got some athleticism, that's for sure. They haven't had the best record this year. But all that stuff doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, you got to go out and block and tackle, and they've got some guys that can make plays, and we've got to be prepared to go play well.
7:30 at Fred Shaver Field, Southeast Bulloch Groves homecoming. Go out there and support the Jackets. This portion of the Southeast Bulloch Football Coaches Show is brought to you by Clayton Digital Repro Graphics. And joining me now from the Southeast Bulloch players' perspective, we've got Will Adams, one of the offensive linemen. And Will, I know this past week was a tough one. You guys went up there to Savannah, took on Benedictine, and ended up losing that. How's the team feeling after that game?
Well, we just got to come out and work harder to finish the season 9-1.
It'd be easy for you guys to get down and maybe let that affect you in your last two games because you've got Groves and Johnson, both teams that are struggling a little bit this year. How's the team feeling right now, and are you guys pretty focused on the game coming up Friday?
Yes, sir, we're pretty focused. We don't need to go out there, lackadaisical or anything and get beat.
What kind of things do you feel like you guys learned from the Benedictine game? Anything in particular?
Just to come out and play football. I mean, don't go into a game playing scared or anything like that. Just go out and play football.
Coach was saying that he felt like a lot of things that you guys have maybe had been able to get by with mistakes, you weren't able to do against Benedictine. It kind of magnified that. Do you feel that as well?
Yes, sir. Benedictine is a good football team, and where we messed up in some of the other games against Savannah teams, Benedictine's good enough, and they capitalized on them.
So you guys know what's ahead. If you win the last 2 games of the season, Groves and Johnson, you get to play at home at Fred Shaver Field in the state playoffs. Is that a good motivation factor for y'all?
Yes, sir. I think it is, because we haven't won a state playoff game since the 70s, and to be able to win one at home would be pretty awesome.
All right. Well, the first step to that is Southeast Bullock's got Groves coming up 7:30 Friday night. Go out and support the Yellow Jackets. Well, the Appalachian State Mountaineers coming in ranked is nothing new to Paulson Stadium, but the Mountaineers in the past have been ranked in FCS. This time around, they're ranked in FBS, as they are the number 25 ranked team in the nation right now. We had a chance to talk with head coach Chad Lunsford and some of the players about the big matchup.
Great to get a win last week on the road, and to be able to do that 2 weeks in a row was really big for this football team. And the way we won both those games. 1 week it was the defense, and second week it was the offense, and just finding ways to win was really big. And very excited about the upcoming one this Thursday night. There'll be a lot of excitement around this one, and a really good football team coming into Paulson. So we'll get to find out what our football team's about this week. Off season, it was very important that we talked about Georgia Southern history and the things about Georgia Southern that's made Georgia Southern great. And part of that was the App State game, the rivalry with App State. I believe this will be the 34th meeting overall, and when you start looking at our schedule, that's not the case for the other games. And so it's definitely something different. This one's not just a game. I mean, it's something special. But, we also have to understand that we have to go into each game just like we do every week with our plan to win and being focused and being locked in. But there'll be a lot of excitement, there'll be a lot of energy, and we have to make sure we don't get too high and too low.
What does App State bring to the table offensively and defensively?
Well, they're just very efficient in what they do. They're, obviously with Coach Satterfield being there for a while, and really good continuity on coaching staff. They've been able to bring in their type of guys, and so they're very impressive to watch on film. Yeah, they get good at what they do. It's not a smoke and mirror show. It's definitely, this is what we do. This is our identity, and we're going to go do it better than you'll defend it. So offensively, I think they do a tremendous job with their stretch play, with their bootlegs, play action, and just being efficient in the pass game. On defense, very quick, very athletic, run to the football. A lot of high motor guys, so this will be a definite test for us.
It ain't just another game. Of course, there's a lot of hype with them coming in ranked 25, but you got to go out there and play. You know what I'm saying? We gonna prepare how we been preparing and just do our job. You know what I'm saying? It's a big one, and we want to get it. So we'll see Thursday. This kind of game that you play in national televised. It's kind of game that you make a name for yourself, but you can't get caught up too much in it. You got to go out there and play and not do too much and just do your job. That's what we're going to go out there on Thursday and do.
Since Coach Sloan, he came from there, he was there the last 6 years, so he has a clue on what they do and the tendencies that they have. So I feel like he's going to have a great game plan for us to go out there and try to shut them down.
How much does that help, knowing that Coach Sloan was there last year?
I feel like it helps tremendously a lot, actually. So, yeah. A lot of good players on the running back. Number 3, Darrington Evans, he's a pretty explosive back. The starter, he got hurt, but me and Darrington, we pretty cool because he was actually getting recruited with Georgia Southern. We came here in our official together, so he's a pretty good back. And they got a couple 2 receiver transfers from Kansas State, so they're athletic, but we know what we can do.
What does it mean to have financial freedom?
At Queensboro Wealth Management, we're helping people figure that out.
And giving them a plan to get there.
If you have a desire to take control of your finances and live with financial purpose,
we
will use every bit of our knowledge to help you.
And there's no cost to get started.
Download a free kit from our website, then give any of us a call. QWM is Queensboro Wealth Management. Let's begin today.
50 years, that's a lot of memories. And at Lee Hill & Johnston Insurers, we've been Statesboro's insurance people since 1963. Recognized as one of the leading agencies in Georgia, Lee Hill & Johnston is independent and offers a complete line of personal and business insurance for auto, life, home, and health. We'll shop companies to find the lowest premiums and best coverage for you, your family, or your business. Lee Hill & Johnston Insurers, the insurance people since 1963.
And welcome to Jen's Pick 6, brought to you by
Lee Hill & Johnston.
All right, we had last week off. Jennifer had more important places to be. This week she's here. We start off the biggest game of the year for the Georgia Southern Eagles. They're playing their rivals, App State, and the Eagles are 8-point underdogs at home. No respect, Jennifer.
You know what? I have it this weekend. And guys, you know what? Georgia Southern Eagles, Josh.
Yeah.
It's in Boston Stadium.
Yeah, it is.
8 points is a lot of points.
Yeah, I know.
But yes, I do believe Georgia Southern is going to win on this one. So Georgia Southern.
You think they're going to win? I think they're either going to win or cover, one or the other. We got Georgia Tech at home on the road getting 4 points against Virginia Tech.
Okay, well, I did a lot of research.
You did.
Georgia Tech is going all the way for me.
All right, I'm taking Virginia Tech to somehow win this one by more than 4. Georgia, your Bulldogs, big game with Florida down there in Jacksonville. They're a 7-point favorite.
Well, okay, so I did my research there too, guys.
Yeah, you did.
Well, Georgia Bulldogs, somehow, some way, I just love my Bulldogs, Josh. Every time you put them on the sheet, I'm picking them. So for 7 points, -7.
I'm going with you too. Penn State -6 at home against Iowa. Who you like?
Okay, so again, did another research. Penn State all the way.
All right, Penn State all the way. I'm going Iowa. Arkansas is getting 1 point at home against Vanderbilt.
Okay, this is where it comes really good for me.
Yeah?
I don't know why I picked this game this week like this. But dun 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 dun, Vanderbilt for me.
Going with Vandy as well. Last one, Florida State getting 15 points at home against Clemson.
Okay, well, the last research I did. And guys, I'm going to tell you strong and I'm going to tell you right. Florida State all the way.
I got Clemson, but I wouldn't mind if you're right in this one. All right, that'll wrap it up for this week. We thank you for joining us. See you next week before the bomb goes off here.